And welcome to the Spanaway Lake Sentinels, ranked number 15, and the Garfield Bulldogs, ranked number 18 in the WIAA state playoffs here, live from Art Crate Stadium. And we are just about ready, and now the kickoff is live, and it's Tyshawn Rains, and it's touched by a Garfield player, and then eventually fallen on by, it looked like Tyshawn Rain fell on top of it. And it is recovered by Garfield, so it will stay Garfield. And a near disaster there on just the opening kickoff. Tyshawn Rain did a good job tracking down that ball and falling on top of it to keep the ball going Garfield's way. And a muff kickoff on the first play of this game would not be the way that they want to start first playoff game for the Bulldogs, but tragedy avoided, so it'll be EJ Caminong alongside Raylan Witherspoon in the backfield for the Bulldogs to start this one off. And Garfield lost the coin toss. Spanaway Lake defers, so the Sentinels will play defense first, and the snap is to Caminong, who hands to Witherspoon, who cuts up the middle, stiff arms one, and gets a nice gain of about 5 on the first play of this one. And we are in for a barn burner, as these two teams pretty evenly matched. It'll be a good challenge for both sides. Garfield, of course, going to like to move the ball through the air, but they do have an advantage in their very physical line. So look for the backs out of the backfield to be punching through big holes early in this one. And a flag flies on the far side of the field. And it'll be offsides against the Sentinels, wearing the teal and black today for their first home game of these playoffs. And they're a very tough team this year, had a great record, but lost their last contest of the season to Lincoln of Tacoma and Jabari Johnson. It was a blowout, unfortunately delayed, cut short after the delay. But they were getting blown out. They did not even need to restart the game, as Caminong looks immediately to his left and Sajay Jackson, and the ball just goes right through his hands. Looks like he might have had a hold on that one and off of his fingertips as he was falling out of bounds. And the Bulldogs having to make quite the drive down here to Art Crate Stadium, Art Crate Field, all the way down here by Bethel High School in the town of Spanaway. And an hour and a half almost the drive, give or take some traffic, as the carry is right away to, I believe that's Uriah Givens. But no doubt these guys had maybe an earlier morning than they usually do on a Saturday, got on the bus and hauled down here to the little town of Spanaway, Washington. And they'll be looking to move forward. Of course, if they do, they'll face a very tough challenge, but they're not focused on that. It's a 1-0 mentality for the Bulldogs right now. They're just looking to get past this week, have another week of practice, as it'll be Caminong in the shotgun, dropping back and looks right. Now he's going through his progressions and scrambles up the middle. He's still going, and he doesn't quite slide down, but he gets enough for the first down, so that'll move the chains. Nice pocket awareness there from Caminong. And so it'll be Caminong again in the shotgun. He had a very nice play on that last one. And Caminong's scrambling ability is part of the reason that UW has got his commitment, as their flag comes in. The carries to Raylan Witherspoon, who it's about no game, but of course, the big news of the last week for the Bulldogs, EJ Caminong, committed to the University of Washington. And of course, it's a we not me mentality. but that penalty will be a holding penalty on the Bulldogs. Looked like it was on Debo Wright, number 55. And that'll back him up. Measurable amount. Not that many Garfield students here, obviously. It's a far drive for them, but the Spanaway Lake crowd filling up nicely in this one. And they get a drum line and home field, and of course Spanaway Lake High School about 3.5 miles away from here. So they're not doing too much traveling, and there's a carry to Raylan Witherspoon, who is on the outside. He's got a hole to run through. He's still going, and he spins out of another tackle. He's up the right sideline and smacks the ground. Feels like he could have gotten more out of that. But as it is, it's a 22-yard carry, and it'll move the chain for the Bulldogs. Massive production out of Raylan Witherspoon. And the Bulldogs driving here early. Now, Raylan Witherspoon, just a freshman, did not have the starting job at the start of the season. That more belonged to Jimmy Miller. Tawafa Budu got a lot of carries as well. But he did a good job winning it. Jimmy Miller went down with an ankle injury at one point. Tawafa Budu has had some fumble issues at points. And Raylan Witherspoon has really been consistent. He's a really hard worker, just a freshman. And there's 3 more years of production coming from him. Garfield fans should be excited as there's pre-snap whistles. Snap was to Caminong, but flags fly. Looks like it may be a delay of game penalty. And indeed, it will be delay of game, so the Bulldogs will back up 5 yards and try that one over again. It'll still be first down, but first down and 15. And it is a frigid Saturday afternoon here in the town of Spanaway. The Bulldogs all layered up. As the snap is to Caminong, who looks out of the backfield to Witherspoon, the younger one, but it's just over his head. So second down and 15 after that incompletion. But the Bulldogs are nicely layered. You can see them sporting in long sleeves, all sorts of stuff, sweatshirts, masks. And they're just trying to stay warm here, and preferably they'll stay warm with their play on the field and advance. They come off a nice win off of Lincoln Seattle last week. Decisive win as the passes to Sajay Jackson. It's a wide receiver screen, and he's still going, and he gets hit eventually. It'll be good for about a gain of 5. But Sajay Jackson looking shifty on the screen. And that's what Garfield wants to do. They're going to get it to their guys. You put the ball in the hands of the playmakers, they'll make the plays. You can bet on that. And so the whistles come in. The ref will wave his hands above his head, and it'll be a timeout Garfield's way. The first one of this one. So third down and 9 here in the first quarter. 7:23 remaining here at Arcade Field. We'll take our first game of the back. I'm Harlan. First break of the game. I'm Harlan Grady. We'll be right back. And so it'll be Caminong in the backfield with the brothers Witherspoon next to him, Reggie and Raylan. And 3 receivers out wide as well. Just a 5-man line. This is a usual formation. So there's the pre-snap motion from Witherspoon to the right side, and there's the pass over the middle, nearly intercepted. And it looks like Sajay Jackson somehow brought that in. My goodness, an incredible reception. Looked like it was intercepted by Amir Elliott from Spanaway Lake, the senior linebacker, but couldn't quite get to the ball. So Jackson, or pardon me, that's LaRon Page. but unfortunately could not get to the ball, and so Jay Jackson will reel that one in. His second catch of the day. And the Bulldogs offense driving. They got what they needed there. That was a big third down conversion. So 1st and 10 nearing the red zone for Caminong in the offense. And he's got Raylan Witherspoon next to him. Reggie and Jamaica Myers on the far side, and that's who we'll look to. It'll be Reggie Witherspoon on the wide receiver screen, but nothing doing there. As Reggie just has to fall to the turf with that one. So yet again, it'll be Raylan Witherspoon in the backfield with Caminong, and he'll take the shotgun snap and look out to his right, and he's still looking deep. Plenty of time, but the pressure's coming. Now he's going to scramble out. He's to the far sideline and just brought down by the shoelaces. It looked like he could have had something big there. But he'll get back to about where the drive started. That'll be a nice gain of about 5. And so 3rd and 9 yet again. The Bulldogs need to convert, but now probably in field goal range. Finn Terry's been pretty consistent from this range all year. And it would really be nice for these guys if they can strike first and get out to an early lead. But 3rd and long for the Bulldogs, their second big third down test of the game, and it'll be Reggie Witherspoon in pre-snap motion. The pressure immediately coming. It'll be Raylan Witherspoon out the flat, and he's hammered. Big hit coming in from Spanaway Lake. Josiah Wagner laying the boom on Raylan Witherspoon. And Caminong faced some early pressure. It looked like somebody shot the right gap and had to dish it off. And so it will be Finn Terry coming in, and this will be from about 40 yards out. And I was down on the field in warm-ups, and he was cashing these no problem. There is a big wind that is in his favor. And maybe not consistent from this range all year, but with this wind, Finn Terry was absolutely hammering these in warm-ups, and that one looked like it was tipped or something, but nonetheless shanked. Doesn't even come close. So the 42-yarder from Finn Terry is no good, and it's not close. So the Bulldogs held scoreless, but a good first drive takes about 8 minutes off the clock. And so with 4:18 remaining, the Spanaway Lake Sentinels will have their first drive of the game here, and it'll be really interesting to see how the Garfield defensive line does against what's a smaller offensive line than what they're usually used to. And none of that was on display more than last week against Lincoln of Seattle. The D-line ran wild. All sorts of pressure on Billy Versaw for that team. So it'll be Dempsey James, the senior quarterback, out for the Sentinels, who will immediately hand off. Or pardon me, it's a keeper to the right side, but he is hammered from Henry Schmidt coming off the far side. And Henry Schmidt has been near unstoppable this season. It's his first year playing football. The senior and the Garfield coaching staff have absolutely transformed him into a monster from the safety position. And so after that, keeper for a loss of 1 by Dempsey James. Snap will be yet again to him, and he'll drop back and look out to his left. There's a deep ball coming. Testing Tyshawn Rains in coverage, and it's dropped. And that was Josiah Wagner, the same man who ended the last Garfield drive with the big hit on Raylan Witherspoon. And he was testing Tyshawn Rain early. It did not go well, as it rarely does. Rain locked down in coverage. No surprise there. And so 3rd and 11. And the chance for the Bulldogs defense to force a big 3-and-out here first time around. They have looked very solid on these first 2 plays. First on the run defense, then on the pass defense, and it'll be Dempsey dropping back into 3-step and now looking to scramble, but he's brought down in the backfield. A big sack in a big spot from the Garfield D-line, and that's going to be the X factor. It was Dominic Harden and Troy Viga combining. And so the Sentinels go backward on their first set of downs. And the punt team will come out. It's like Dempsey James and the rest of that offense didn't quite know what they were cooking up. So they go backwards about 6 yards after the big third down sack. And now the punter nearly from his own end zone. And it's a boot, and it looks like it'll land about the 45, and then it'll stay about there, and it's downed. So Pina Moimoy tackles the punt coverage man. And I don't know if he knows that you don't have to do that, but it was brought in and downed at the, we'll call that the 44-yard line. So really good field position here for Garfield. They'll look to punch in. They don't need much. But now it'll be Uriah Givens trotting onto the field for the Bulldog offense. They'll be in a three-back set with Givens, Viga, and Witherspoon, who will get the carry and cut immediately to his right. And he's carrying the whole team with him. Now he's brought down by a pile of black and teal. And this game is flying by. First quarter nearly done. 2 minutes on the clock. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. A good first down gain there from Witherspoon. And nothing new. He has been a beast ever since his first opportunities, really, which came against Seattle Prep at Lumen Field. He had his first big game, his first high school touchdown, and all of that. Very good signs. Really looking to see the young guys succeed early. And here's the carry again. He's off to the left side. He's still going. He's spun down, and he is down. But not before he's able to get a good gain of about 3 or 4. Doesn't quite move the chains, but it's close. So it'll be 3rd down and about 3 to go here for the Bulldogs. Witherspoon will trot off the field, but he's done his job. And it'll be the heavy set guys now. Jimmy Miller is checked in the backfield. He's their short down and distance guy. So you get 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, those little short things where you only need about 3 or 4 yards. He's their guy, Jimmy Miller. He can move mountains with those quads. But it'll be Caminong dropping back and looking short to his left, and it's over the head of Jamaica Myers. Caminong hit as he throws. And it'll be a 3 and out unless they decide to go for it. And no sign of a punt crew. And the usual Bulldog punter, Joe Gordon, he has been quite sick this week, so no sign of him here today at Art Crate Field. He's out today with an illness. So no sign of the punt team. And the play clock is at 5 seconds. They're going to need to hurry up here if they're going to get this one off. It'll be Caminong, and flags fly. So that'll take it from a 4th down and about 3 to 4th down and about 8. And so Joe Gordon, the punter, out this week, so still no sign of a punt team. And keep in mind it could be a pooch punt where the quarterback just backs up a few steps and kicks it away, but for now it's Caminong who will fake the run and drop back. He has plenty of time. He's scrambling to the near sideline. He's still on his feet, almost brought down, looking, and sacked on 4th down at about the 50-yard line, and that was not where that drive was supposed to go. They're going to go back about 7 yards. And at that time, it was Amir Elliott bringing him down in the backfield. And that drive started at the 44 and ended at the 50-yard line. Both teams now back-to-back drives in negative direction. And here's the first snap for the Spanaway Lake Sentinels, and the D-line is flying around early today. Big play in the run defense from Yamoni Howell. And pre-snap whistles, looks like it'll indicate some stoppage on the field. Not quite a Spanaway Lake timeout, but looks like a player had an issue with his helmet, and the referees sent him off. And I don't know if our camera's picking it up, but the wind is absolutely howling here at Art Crate Field, as it has been all morning. It's quite chilly, and there are leaves blowing in player faces, and that will mark the end of the first quarter. So it's all zeros here. Donuts at the end of the first between the Garfield Bulldogs and the Spanaway Lake Sentinels. If you stay with us, we'll be right back here and start off the second quarter of action. This will be a good one. Two very competitive teams here, tied early. We'll be right back. I'm Harlan Grady for Bulldog Sports Journal. And so the two teams will switch sides, but it won't do much. The ball's on the 50-yard line. It'll be second down and 10 after no gain on the first play of this drive from the Sentinels. So Dempsey James, senior quarterback, leading the charge for the Sentinels. He's in the shotgun. He's got four receivers out wide and fake the handoff. He'll keep it. And the ball comes loose. He fumbled it, and it looks like it was picked up by the Bulldogs. Can't quite tell yet. And we'll wait for the ruling on the field. Can't quite tell. They're still fighting for it. And they'll call that Spanaway Lake's way, even though it looked like Uriah Givens came out of the dog pile with it. They're calling it Spanaway Lake football, but nonetheless, that'll still go down as a sack and a massive loss. So it'll be second down and about 15 after the forced fumble recovered by the Sentinels no matter. It'll be Ryan Clemens, sophomore running back, next to Dempsey James in the backfield. They've got three-man outside, and now it'll be drop back in the shotgun and immediate scramble up, and the pressure's coming, and it's coming fast. Dempsey James doesn't even get close. He stepped out of bounds. He thought he had it. Not even close. He'll crawl across the 50, but not much more than that. So it'll still be fourth down and about 7. And it looks like the punt team's coming on now. And indeed, so it'll be Sebastian Cuesta into punt for the Sentinels. And Reggie Witherspoon alongside him, Miles Damon. So two of the faster guys on this team back deep to field this punt. As the snap is a little bit high and the blocker's coming, but not even close as Uriah Givens. That punt will go out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. And that's not where you want your punts to be going if you're Spanaway Lake. Not much success on offense, and so 46, the 36-yard line is where Caminong and the Bulldog offense will start this drive off. after that punt went out of bounds. Just a little 15-yard punt. Not much doing. So it'll be Caminong in the shotgun and looking out to his right side. He'll throw and just hits the turf. Falls harmlessly. It was looking to get in the arms of CJ Jackson on the slant, who couldn't quite bring it in. So now 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They're going to need to complete some more passes. They've had some struggles, whether it be Caminong's arm in the cold yet to warm up, or some mix-ups with the receivers running their routes. Nonetheless, the success has not been there, and it's Caminong taking the shotgun snap, but multiple flags pre-snap means an offsides. Or, pardon me, a false start. So 2nd down and 15 now, an incompletion followed by a false start penalty. The brothers Witherspoon in the backfield expect some pre-snap motion from Reggie. And there he goes. Caminong takes the snap and another set of flags before the snap. Call it false start again. So back-to-back false starts have the Bulldogs back up to 2nd and 20. And just a little bit sloppy here from both sides. The fumble for the Sentinels, a lot of penalties for the Bulldogs. And penalties have been a theme these past 2 weeks. Against Lincoln of Seattle, it was a flag fest. Seemed like there was laundry on the field every other play. And early in this one, it's been that way as well. So it'll be Raylan Witherspoon in the backfield along with 4 men out wide for Caminong in the shotgun, who will take the high snap and look out. He's going through his progressions. He throws as he's hit as he throws. So Jay Jackson open down the field. And incomplete. So Jay Jackson nearly had that one. But Caminong was absolutely walloped as he tried to get that one off. So you got to think maybe that's why he couldn't quite reach Jackson in stride. But Jackson had him beat, and that's what you like to see. And Sajay yet to commit to any college. He does have an offer on the table from Eastern Washington University. And you could see him playing on that red turf next year this time. Very talented wide receiver. So it'll be Caminong in the shotgun yet again, as he usually is. And the pressure's coming early. He evades one, but he's brought down. And that pressure came quick. Nothing Caminong could do about it. Amir Elliott was the one in the backfield who brought him down. And so for the first time today, we will see the punt crew with the backup punter. It'll be Julius Gillick, who has had some good punts and also had some issues against Eastside Catholic. Muff punt led to an Eastside Catholic possession on the 1-yard line. So hopefully he'll put that behind him and give it a good boot. So it'll be Gillick handling the high snap, and it looks like it'll be a fake punt or something, but no matter what happened. But it'll be recovered by the Bulldogs. They'll be moving it upfield, and does that even count as a first down? I have no idea. But Gillick's punt issues have surfaced yet again. It looked like he was deciding whether to run that one or kick it. And then he ran, and then he kicked it away. And he kicked it in the arms of a Spanaway Lake player who fumbled it. And then it went into the arms of a Garfield player who recovered it and ran it up the field. And now they're saying it's Garfield football. So I couldn't tell you what on earth just happened there or how that's a first down. But nonetheless, it'll be Caminong, Viga, and Miller in the backfield. So the Bulldogs remain on offense. And now it's Mike Watkins trotting out there as well. Gives Jamaica Myers some high five and joins the line on the near side. So now Caminong hands to Miller, who has some room off the left side to run. Trucks one, still carrying. That's a big boy run from Jimmy Miller, who gets about 9. And Jimmy Miller, fantastic as usual. Does a really good job. You may not always get the most yards. Not a super explosive runner compared to some of the other guys on the team. But the first man never brings him down. He absolutely ran over one Spanaway Lake defender. So it'll be Caminong now handing to Miller again. And this time he's met at the line and driven back by 3 dark jerseys. And there was nothing doing there for Miller and the Bulldogs O-line. They were pushed back. And this game, all games, but this game especially will be won and lost up front in the trenches, as they say. So it'll be important to see whether or not Garfield can continue their early success running the ball. So the handoff will yet again be to Miller, who maybe has enough for the first down, but it'll really depend where they spot this one. And the head referee does say first down, Garfield, so the chains will move. And the Bulldogs have had some early success here running the ball. First it was Raylan Witherspoon, Jimmy Miller on that last set of downs. Got all 3 carries and successfully got the first down. So donuts on the scoreboard. Neither team has really done much offensively. It'll be Caminong now in the shotgun, looking immediately out to his right. He's got C.J. Jackson for his 3rd catch of the game, who's brought down quickly. But he's still going to get the reception, and it'll be good for about 5 yards. He's down at about the 45, call it the 44, for 2nd down and 6. The line to gain will be the 50, so if they can push it in enemy territory, they've got a fresh set of downs. And in a game like this, whoever puts up the first points is going to get a big morale boost. As there's Caminong looking deep. He's got his man, Jamaica Myers. And Jamaica Myers couldn't quite reel that one in. Just through his hands. And Caminong has missed a few times today, but that one was squarely on Myers. And the Bulldogs look like a team who rolled out of bed early and took an hour-and-a-half bus ride to Spanaway, Washington, that's for sure. But you gotta hope some of these, maybe they're jitters, maybe they're just cold. But either way, they're gonna have to figure them out one way or the other. So it'll be Caminong in the shotgun yet again. Raylan Witherspoon beside him. He'll drop back to pass and look immediately out to Jamaica Myers. And Jamaica Myers yet again, another drop. But that time the coverage was much tighter. And on the slant route, couldn't quite bring that one in. It would have been good enough for a first down, but now it'll be 4th down and about 6. And after the way the last punt went, I would be surprised to see Gillick trot out and kick this one away. And indeed, the offense will stay out there on about 4th and 6 to go. So he's got trips to his right side. That means 3 receivers stacked. And also Jamaica Myers on the top of your screen. He'll look out to C.J. Jackson, who's got enough for the first down, and a big reception for Jackson, who brought that one in and got to about the opposing 46. But there's a flag in the backfield. Never a good sign. And we will await the signal. For now, C.J. Jackson had enough for a first down on a very nice slant route. But the ball is moving backwards. That'll make it. So, very interesting call there. It's going to be a dead ball foul, which means it occurred after the play was over. So the first down stands, but they move them back 15 yards. So it's first down, but they move back, and it'll be Witherspoon in the flat now, one man to beat. He beats him easily. He spins out of another. He's still on his feet, and he nearly got loose off the far sideline. My goodness, and that's that classic Witherspoon elusiveness. He got enough for the first down, though, and the Bulldogs back over the 50 after that big dead ball penalty. Moved them back 15 yards. And Witherspoon beat one man, juked him, spun out of another. Seemed like the third man definitely had him. He evaded him somehow too, and then got the first down. It'll be Raylan Witherspoon now. Flags fly, but nothing doing. But Witherspoon looked like he was dead to rights after the second man came and got him, and somehow turned that into a first down reception. And that's exactly why you just give the ball to him in open space. He is absolutely one of the most explosive, quick guys you'll find on a football field. And he's the second fastest 16-year-old in America. And a truly one-of-a-kind talent. But looks like offensive holding on that first carry for Raylan Witherspoon. So Bulldogs move back yet again. They've been over the 50 twice, and they've been behind the 50 three different times now. So it'll be Caminong in the shotgun, two receivers to each side. Yet again, the pre-snap motion from Witherspoon, and he looks out to him in the flats and now looks over the middle. Jason Finley is the man he was looking for, but incomplete as Finley was cracked trying to bring that one in. So it falls to the turf incomplete. So there's the snap to Caminong, who looks deep down the far sideline. It looks like he's got his man, but it's incomplete. They're going to throw a flag. And it's looking to be defensive pass interference for 15 yards and a first down. That was Caminong looking for his brother Devin. And the younger Caminong, unable to bring it in, but it looked like it was defensive pass interference. And so it's going to be a hold on Garfield alongside the defensive pass interference. The two penalties are going to be offsetting. So after all that action, pick it all up and do it over again. And so now, trips to the left side. He's got his three men and then one to the on the top of your screen, and he's still looking. The pressure's coming. He's looking to escape, but he's brought down in the backfield on second down. And that was a massive loss. Caminong looked to escape it, but he couldn't quite get loose. And so the line to gain is about the 37, and the Bulldogs are currently on their own 30. So the stadium scoreboard has it at third down and 33 yards to go. And penalties on nearly every play in this game. Both sides playing sloppy. So Caminong will hand to Reggie Witherspoon, the jet sweep. He's got some room to work up the left sideline. He's still going. There's a flag down. He's still up the sideline. And pushed out of bounds after a good gain, but two flags flew. Wouldn't be surprised to see yet another holding call. but 2 flags flew. You wonder if it's on the same guy or not. So the penalty will be declined by the Spanaway Lake head coach, which means Reggie Witherspoon will get a good gain of about 15, 20 yards on the jet sweep. And that's an interesting question. Do you take the penalty, give him another shot from 43 yards away, or do you take the 15-yard gain and assume that they won't get it? So penalties declined. Still 18 yards left to go for the Bulldogs, so not really fourth and manageable. So it'll be Julius Gillick now back to punt. His last punt didn't really work as a punt, but it did work as though they got the ball back. And so now the punt will be coming again, and it's a little boot. It's going to land at about the 34 and bounce down, still rolling in the Garfield direction. And inside the 20, and it'll fall at about the 19-yard line, which is where the Spanaway Lake Sentinels will begin their next drive. So 36 yards from Julius Gillick's right foot. And now the Sentinels will take back over, Dempsey James leading the charge. And so he's got 4 men out wide, but he'll hand off right away. And the Garfield D-line says, no thank you, nothing doing. Troy Viga. And it'll also be Amoni Howell, as they always are in the middle of things. No gain there on first down. So 2nd and 10. As that carry was for DRI and Clemens. And so here comes the shotgun snap. The carry yet again is to the running back, and nothing doing. Clemens denied at the line for the 3rd time this game. So no gain for the 2nd straight play on the run. And the Garfield Bulldog defense have absolutely shut down this offense to this point. They are playing one of their better games, one of their better first halves at least that I've seen them play to this day. And they have been absolutely locked down, especially against the run, so that'll force them to take a timeout with the run game not working. 0-0 with 3:38 left on the clock in the first half. This game flying by. Neither team able to do anything on offense. I'm Harlan Grady for Bulldog Sports Journal. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now here it is. 3rd down and long yet again for the Spanaway Lake Sentinels, who it seems as they're met with this every single drive. The pass rush is coming hard early, and the quarterback scrambling out to his right. He's going to look to pass. He's got his man, but it's dropped. Wide open, nobody even near him. The wide receiver took a seat, and he still couldn't bring it in. He was looking for Josiah Wagner, as James made a really nice play scrambling on the far side, evading the pass rush, which was coming quick and hard, but nothing at all doing for the Sentinel offense. They have had major trouble And if my memory serves me, I don't believe they've converted a first down yet today as the punt team comes on and boots this one away. A nice ball, and it'll be Reggie Witherspoon letting it go over his head. And it'll be down at around the 46-yard line. Sebastian Cuesta, nice punt. So the Bulldogs are going to get this one in their own field, in their own territory at least, but still some good field positions they've had all game. At this point, it's really on the offense. The defense has done its job spectacularly to this point. And a first half shutout is nothing to scoff at. This Sentinels team is ranked number 15 for a reason. They are very solid, especially running the ball. And there has been absolutely no space for Clemens to do anything on that side of the football. So now it'll be Caminong in the shotgun, but whistles blow before the snap. They're pointing at somebody to go off the field. And for Garfield coming off the field, don't have him on our roster. Number 88. Looks like he didn't have a mouth guard. So in comes Devin Caminong to the far side. The handoff to Jimmy Miller, but it's fumbled, and it's coming back this way. There's a flag on the far side. Will Caminong chase him down inside the 10? And Caminong does bring him down right before he gets in the goal line. He's down at the 1. Very impressive play from E.J. Caminong. There was a flag down on the far side. But he was trying to hand the ball to Jimmy Miller, who fumbled it, and then it was immediately picked up and started running back the other way for Spanaway Lake. And you got to think that'll lead to the first points of this game. But it looks like they'll have to consult about this flag that was thrown. Yeah, and it'll be against Garfield, and it'll be declined, shockingly, by the Spanaway Lake head coach. So it'd be a shocker not to see the Sentinels punch this one in, and with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in the first half, that is devastating. But a nice job by E.J. Caminong. Did not give up on the play even for a second and chase down the ball carrier. But now Spanaway Lake down to the 1-yard line. Diari and Clemens. But the quarterback sneak is enough to push it into the end zone. Touchdown Sentinels. 6-0 on the keeper from Dempsey Jones. And the Sentinels strike first here at Art Crate. 3 minutes just above left in the first half. 6-0 Sentinels pending the extra point. And that's not what you want if you're Garfield. The offense now has to come right back out and respond. But now it'll be Danny Amaral out to kick this one through. The senior playing in. You got to keep in mind, the seniors for both teams are playing in their prospective last games. So you never know when it'll be your last chance to kick. Danny Amaral says, yes, please. The kick is up and good. And so, Spanaway Lake Sentinels now lead 7-0 with 3 minutes left in the first half of play. And it's Danny Amaral. And to kick this one away for the Sentinels. And there it comes. It's a little squib. Looked like there were flags before that. And you have to imagine it was offsides. Looked like the kicker slowed down a little bit before releasing that one, and so his men got in front of him before he kicked it away. And that is a classic offsides on the kickoff. And the sun that was shining down on this field before the game, no longer. The clouds are rolling in here. But still a nice day at the home of the Sentinels, as well as the Bison of Bethel and the GK Graham Kaphausen Eagles. And so it won't be ruled an offsides, it'll be ruled false start, but I'm sure that they meant to say offsides. As now it'll be Amaral back yet to kick it off yet again. And it's booted deep. It'll be Tawafa Budu now carrying this one back for Garfield, and he's got some room to work with, and now he's met and dropped at about the 30-yard line. Pardon me, not dropped. He stayed on his feet impressively. It looked like they had him wrapped up, but nonetheless, whistles blow. And the Bulldog offense will take over yet again, looking to strike back from the last possession, which was a one-play fumble to Jimmy Miller, which was brought back to the 1-yard line and led to the eventual first score of the game. And in the words of Ted Lasso, you kind of just got to be a goldfish here. Can't let it bother you. Can't really remember it. Just got to move on to the next one. Keep playing your game. So the pre-snap jet sweep from Witherspoon will be nixed by pre-snap whistles. And if this is a false start yet again, the Bulldogs are going to have to figure this out, and they're going to have to figure it out quick. This is incredible. The Garfield Bulldogs are just shooting themselves in the foot. And at this point, they've only got 10 toes. They might have blown themselves off 9 of them. And just some really impressive work to see how many penalties they can get called on themselves in one half. And so the high snap to Caminong. He'll drop back and look to the flats. Reggie Witherspoon bringing it in and back to about the original line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And now second down and 15 yards to go. First down was a false start followed by a Reggie Witherspoon reception for no gain. But now there's pre-snap motion from Jason Finley, and the high snap to Caminong will be reeled in, and now the pressure's coming. And he somehow stays alive. He's looking deep. He's got his man. It's Reggie Witherspoon. Almost intercepted over the head of Reggie Witherspoon, and couldn't quite catch up to it. Nearly intercepted by LeRon Page. But third down and 15. And so now it's third down and 15. You got to imagine they're going to throw this one deep. But no, it's a little drop play. It's to Raylan Witherspoon, who's got some room to work off the near sideline. He's still going, and he's almost to the line to gain, but not quite. He'll be about 5 yards short. As the clock will tick down to nearly 2 minutes. And punt team now out there. Surprising call, but Raylan Witherspoon didn't get close as I imagined, so it'll be Julius Gillick booting this one away, and it's a little bit muffed. It looked like it went off the side of his foot, and Julius Gillick now in a little bit of pain. Looks like that football hit him in a bad spot, but he's grabbing his left ankle, and he'll hop off, putting no weight on it. Now finally able to put some weight on it, but that punt went for about 10 yards max. Not what you'd like to see. And the Bulldogs defense, for having played a fantastic half, could go into the break down 14-0 on a very short possession here. As there's a toss to the outside, and the Spanaway Lake running back up the field and almost to the first down. It'll be about 8 or 9 yards. So Diari and Clemens. Diari and Clemens did a good job taking that pitch and running with it, but man down on the field now for Spanaway Lake. As the clock rests at about 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 9 seconds up on the scoreboard, but both teams will take a knee and wait for this Spanaway Lake player to get up and get off the field. It'll be Tucker Ralph, the O-lineman. And he looks all right. Just got a little banged up. But one thing that this Spanaway Lake offense has not done at all is test the Garfield secondary. They've run the ball, and they've run the ball a lot, but they have not really thrown the ball ever since they tested Tyshawn Rain and got absolutely clamped up. But now it'll be James in the shotgun yet again. He's got one man to his left in the backfield, and he'll take it on a design keeper. It looked like a read option. He'll get enough for the first down and trot out of bounds. 1:42 now left in the half. But a good job by James there to get out of bounds on the far sideline, stop the clock. Sentinels still have, I believe, 2 timeouts. So now there'll be a jet sweep motion pre-snap, and now the handoff is immediately to Clemens, and he has nothing doing yet again. And the one run he's done something on was a pitch, but every time they've handed it off to him, I think he has a net gain of maybe a yard. But from the 26, Spanaway will try this one again as the clock ticks down under a minute, and we've got decimals. And the design keeper, a really nice spin move, fools one, and he's still on his feet with another spin move, but trots out of bounds for a loss of about 7 yards. Had a really, really nice spin move, actually, that fooled one Garfield defender almost to the ground. But beyond that, was not able to do much. Still a loss of 7, so it'll be 3rd down and 17 yards to go. And that last play backed them up out of field goal range. So with 50.1 on the clock here at Art Crate, we will look to see if the Bulldogs can hold them scoreless on this last drive before halftime. And Spanaway Lake calls a timeout there, second. They've still got one more, but with 50.1 seconds, this will be critical. 3rd and 17 when we come back. I'm Harlan Grady. Don't go anywhere. And so now it'll come down to this, 3rd and 17 for the Bulldogs. Or pardon me, for the Sentinels, defended by the Bulldogs, of course. And there's a snap. They're looking deep now, still in the shotgun. The pressure's coming, and he's brought down. A fantastic play by Debo Wright. Dominic Harden was also there. But a real nice play in the backfield. And immediately after that sack, there was a Garfield timeout, so it'll be 4th and a quarter mile. But now it'll be 4th down and a long, long way to go for Spanaway Lake. Garfield immediately called a timeout, so interesting to see what they're going to do here. 4th and 26 is the official ruling, and you gotta wonder, is this field goal range? Probably not, but is it punt range? We'll wait and see. But now the punt team's out there. It'll be Sebastian Cuesta's 3rd boot of the game. And only one man back deep to receive for the Bulldogs. I believe it's Miles Damon. And there's a lofty snap, but it'll be eventually kicked away as flags fly on the kick. It'll bounce down within the 10 and still going down at about the 7-yard line by Spanaway Lake. But flags, obviously, as that one was kicked away. And this game flew by, but as we're approaching halftime, it slowed down considerably, 35.3 on the clock. And so it's going to be a legal formation on the Spanaway Lake Sentinels. The penalty will be accepted, then they'll kick it away again. And now Reggie Witherspoon will run back to receive. Joined, of course, by Miles Damon as well. But the Sentinels will have to punt again. And this is a good call because especially in high school, you never quite know when a punt is going to go very wrong. And 35 seconds along with, I believe Garfield still has 2 timeouts, is a little bit of time, but it's not nothing. Still got some room to work with, and it'll be interesting to see what their game plan is. Pardon me, Garfield's only going to have 1 timeout left. Not 2. They just called one to stop the clock after that last sack and nearly blocked by Debo Wright. But it'll be Miles Damon now with some room to run, and he's up the middle of the field. He's still on his feet. He's still going. He's over the 35 and down at about the 37 with 25 seconds left to go in the half. And so almost surely now it'll be the Bulldogs trailing by just about 1 score headed into the break. So 25 seconds left to go, and it's Caminong in the shotgun with 4 receivers. And a very high snap, and he's looking out to the flats, but he's not going to throw it. Plenty of time. He's scrambling now, looking deep, still looking, and he's just going to take a step out of bounds with about 16 seconds left to go in the half. So a 3-yard scramble there from Caminong will set the Bulldogs up for 2nd down and 7, but you got to think they want to take a deep shot to one of their receivers, maybe one of their bigger guys. Think Jackson or Myers in this situation. But you never know when you get Witherspoon, either one of the Witherspoons really into some open space. They are dangerous. So it'll be Caminong in the shotgun yet again, and there comes the snap. He's handling it, And he's looking deep, still looking. The press coming from his blind side. He's still looking. Now he scrambles again, and he's taking a step out of bounds yet again. So 8 seconds left now as the clock ticking down slowly but surely. Caminong back-to-back scrambles. And they've combined for about 6 yards, so 3rd down and 4 to go. So Caminong, 8 seconds, 4 yards to go on 3rd down. He's looking deep. The pressure rush coming from his blind side, and he's brought down. Looked like a horse collar. But nonetheless, that will wrap up the first half of play here. So the Sentinels lead the Bulldogs by a score of 7-0 here at half. Art Crate Field. It's setting up to be a really good one. And the Bulldogs will head back to the locker room trailing by 1. The Sentinels have got to be happy with that first half of play. Winner to state, loser out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after halftime here at Bulldog Sports Journal. I'm Harlan Grady, and I've got Cole Yagi, Jack Sundberg here. Luke Robbins down on the field taking pictures. We'll be back after halftime. Don't go anywhere.
Fans, if you own a white Ford van, license plate number Season Charlie 3637 1 wide, it's blocking a driveway and it will be towed. White Ford van C3637 1 wide. Please move your van. Reminder to check out our concession stands. Pizza, popcorn, nachos. Great job, pep band, Spanaway Lake High School, under the direction of Bruce Liberty. And what you thought was a conga line was actually our cheerleaders. Zoe Mann, Alyssa Potter Wingate, Sophia Santos, Sanaya Ross, Kiera McDonald, Rosalina Canaosas, Jacelyn Benito, Deanna Clemens, Jasmine Dupree, and Samaya White. Again, head coach Kiana Fryer, assistant coach
And welcome back to Art Crate Field here, where the Spanaway Lake Sentinels hold a 7-0 lead over the Garfield Bulldogs. Although the scoreboard may not show an accurate representation of who's been dominant in this one. It's been Bulldogs defense really dominating, running the show. The only touchdown they allowed was on a fumble that was returned back to the 1-yard line with just a little bit of time left in the first half. So here we go. It'll be Julius Gillick kicking it off deep, and it'll be brought in around the 10-yard line in stride from Spanaway Lake, who's still going up the field and driven out of bounds at about the 33. That was Josiah Denmark taking that one up the field. And so it'll be the Spanaway Lake offense, which really struggled. Obviously, they have the only points of the game, but even so, they did not have a good time offensively. And I was talking with my colleagues here at Bulldog Sports Journal. We speculated that they may be negative in offensive yards, even though they're the only ones with points. And it just was not a good half for them. And there's the running back who's had some trouble all day, and he's finally able to get something going. Looks like a carry of 9 for Clemens. And they will move the chains. So it'll be their first big run of the game. Every single handoff before this was met with no gain, I believe. And a really nice bit of work from the Spanaway Lake offensive line, which has struggled against a big physical Garfield defensive line, at least to this point throughout the first half. And so it'll be James in the backfield with the pitch to Clemens off the outside, who's hit and still on his feet. The flag comes in, and he's brought down after a gain of about 6-yard line. Again, about 6, pardon me. He'll be brought down around the 46-yard line. You can call it the 47, 49. And so penalty against Garfield will move the chains. So a brand new set of downs here for the Sentinels off that penalty. So Spanaway Lake will get a new set of downs and try this all over again. It's Clemens in the backfield alongside James. There's the jet sweep. It's faked. Quarterback's rolling off. There's pressure coming from Uriah Givens, who hawks him down and forces him out of bounds on the far sideline. A flag came in right at the start, and you got to think it had something to do with the pre-snap motion coming across the field. Looked like Josiah Denmark was the one who will get flagged for a false start. And it'll be interesting to see if they accept or decline this penalty. But an illegal formation penalty, not a false start, an illegal formation penalty is declined. So second down and about 13 after a nice play by Uriah Givens on the far side forces a loss of about 3. And so nice to see some sun coming back out to Art Crate Field here. It was raining at halftime for a little while, just a sprinkle, but I'm sure everybody in the stands appreciates it as well. Up here in the press box, it's a little bit warmer than it is out there. But about a yard gain, if that, on second down sets up third and long. It'll be about 11 yards to go, 12 yards to go for the Sentinels. And third down is one where they've had a lot of trouble, and I don't think they've converted to this point. And the snap is fumbled. It's going to be a long way, and there comes a Garfield defender absolutely hawking down the quarterback. Henry Schmidt came absolutely flying out of the defensive backfield and just killed that quarterback. And Dempsey James fumbled the snap and had a very angry Henry Schmidt flying at him. at what we'll call terminal velocity. So off trots Mike Watkins, and back deep it'll be Miles Damon and Reggie Witherspoon yet again. And there comes the kick. The snap was very low. It bounced in front of the punter, and the kick is away. And it's still bouncing Spanaway Lake's way as it lands and carries inside the 15 and to about the 9-yard line, which is where it'll be down on the far hash. Looks like there's a flag down on the near sideline, but I can't quite tell. Could just be a leaf. And a very long discussion from these officials on what they want to do. And it looks like they may be having a Socratic seminar down there on about the 40-yard line. This is very interesting to see. But after all that, looks like it's holding on Garfield. Pardon me. So it'll be a penalty. It'll be holding against Spanaway Lake, the kicking team. And so that ball was down on the 9. And after that holding penalty, which is 10 yards, they'll start on the 19-yard line. It'll be Jimmy Miller in the backfield alongside a stacked offensive line and another back alongside him. But the carry will be for Miller, who runs into a wall of black and teal. And is down for about a gain of 1. If he gets that, it looks like the spot will be for about 1 yard. So, second down and 9 yards to go for Caminong and this Bulldog offense, which struggled mightily against the Spanaway Lake defense, which is strong, but it can be cracked. Lincoln of Tacoma put up 34 on this defense in only part of a game the other week. And there's Jimmy Miller again off the far side. And he looked to have a full head of steam, but somebody stood him up. And you got to think we might be approaching that time where the referees are just going to let the kids play. This game has been a real flag fest, and that seems to be a theme for this Bulldog team. Flag after flag after flag, and with 8 minutes left in this one, the Bulldogs will try this one again. Third and about 5 yards to go. It'll be Caminong the shotgun looking out to his left right away. He's avoiding the pressure, and he falls down as he's trying to evade. And so it'll be a big loss there as Noah Ruiz got to him. And Caminong almost got around him, but lost his footing and fell down, so a loss of about 6. Pardon me, that'll be a loss of 9. Big loss, so it'll be 4th down and 15, and out again is Julius Gillick to punt this one away. His left ankle was in a lot of pain after the last kick. And so there's the kick from Gillick, and it's a laser. It's going to bounce, and it'll be taken in. Reggie Witherspoon couldn't quite make that tackle, and now 4 white jerseys combined to bring down the punt returner. Witherspoon almost had him at about the 50, couldn't quite get there. And so Spanaway Lake will take over at about the 38-yard line of the Bulldogs. Favorable field position for them, and they need it. Absolutely nothing doing for the Sentinel offense to this point. And very little to get excited about as a player and as a fan. The play of the game so far is a fumble that was returned back to the 1-yard line that set up an easy keeper for Spanaway Lake, as there's the pre-snap jet sweep, but flags fly. And you've got to assume it'll be yet another 5-yard loss for the offensive team, and we've only seen about 47 of those, as the clock set at about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. So now first down and 15 yards to go. Spanaway Lake. Dempsey Jones out there to start this drive off, and before they could, they get a false start penalty. So the first play now coming, it's a handoff and yet another flag. And my goodness, this is getting old. So offsides on the defense, and you could see that it was the Garfield defender coming off the far edge. Came a little soon. And so first down and 10. An offsides and a false start offset. So 10 total yards and penalties means we just wasted about 2 minutes of our lives watching the referees put the ball back and forth. So back to first down and 10 from the 38-yard line for the Sentinels. And he's got Clemens in the backfield next to him. There's the pre-snap motion yet again. It's a fake jet sweep. He's dropping back to pass. The pass rush is coming hard. Dominic Harden couldn't quite bring him down, and the screen pass is there. He's got his man. There's a flag on the near side, and he's brought down eventually. That was a nice catch for Josiah Denmark, and he was brought down by Yamoni Howell. Way back inside the red zone, but a flag on the near side. And this will mark the third straight play with a flag. These refs are calling a tight game. And so after all that, it will be a penalty on the Sentinels. Couldn't quite tell what it is. It's either an offsetting penalty or just a 5-yard penalty on the Sentinels. But either way, the big gain there on a nice play from Denmark from James means nothing. So first down and 15. So the third straight play with a penalty means we'll do first down now for the fourth time, and the handoff now is to Clemens, who will take it down the near sideline and have some room to run, but not much. It'll be a gain of about 3, and then he's brought down by a combination of Schmidt and I believe that was Mario Murphy as well on the tackle. So on the fourth try of first down, we finally get an answer. It's a gain of about 2 yards, 3 yards. They'll officially spot it. So second down and 12 now for the Sentinel offense. And they're going to have to find a way to respond to adversity in a way that they haven't quite found yet. It has been a long game offensively for both sides. Neither side willing to budge on defense, as it's an immediate wide receiver screen. He's got his man on the far side. Henry Schmidt brings him down. The pass was complete to Josiah Wagner on the wide receiver screen. A nice block came in from Tanner Condon. So now 3rd down and 5 yards, a critical moment on this drive for both sides. The defense looking to stand strong in the face of the Sentinels. And so here's the shotgun snap, and not a handoff. It's a keeper to the near sideline, and the quarterback stiff arms one. He's going to get the first down and more. Will Mario Murphy bring him down? He will not. Inside the 10. He's still on his feet. And now brought down, but not before he gets to the 5-yard line. A nice tackle by Uriah Givens to keep him out of the end zone. But the first sign of life for either offense comes now with the Sentinels. They are down inside the Garfield 5 and within striking distance. But my goodness, it appears as though there has been yet another flag. This one will come all the way back, so the 4th flag on this drive will go against the Sentinels for the 3rd time. So 3rd down and 10 now. The big scramble, a very nice play on the designated keeper, from James is negated. 3rd down and 10 now for the Sentinels. And so now it'll be Dempsey James in the shotgun yet again, and he'll hand to Cameron, and there's absolutely nothing doing a fantastic play from the Garfield defense. And somebody was absolutely flying off the near side. I believe it was Jonathan Sadler, who came like a cannonball out of a cannon off the near side and absolutely pummeled the defense. Absolutely pummeled the running back, rather. And it was Clemens on the carry yet again. But my goodness, what a play from Jonathan Sadler, who just made an absolutely fantastic play off the defensive edge. And so now on 4th down and long, it's a shotgun snap. He's looking deep. He's scrambling out of the pocket. The pressure's coming. He raids Uriah Givens, but he's brought down. Troy Viga. Very nice play, catching up with the speedy quarterback. And it'll be a turnover on downs for the Sentinels. Troy Viga saves a 1st down all on his own. But that was a very nice play from James. Uriah Givens was completely fooled on the big juke. And Troy Viga, the hero for that play. And, well, that drive, let me remind you, that drive was, I believe, 8 or 9 plays and did not have a 1st down. There were 4 penalties and 4 plays, so 8 yards. 8 plays, rather, a total of about 8 yards in total, and no 1st downs. And that's an oddity. So there's the carry to Julius Gillick, who's off the near side, cuts up, finds his hole, and gets about 5 yards there on 1st down. So 2nd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Julius Gillick had a very nice run, negated due to a penalty last week against Lincoln of Seattle. 80-yard touchdown on the far sideline that got called back because of a holding penalty. And you can see it when he runs. He runs with a lot of energy, like he really wants to be out there. And there's the carry to Miller, who's taken 2 guys with him. And it takes 3 to get him down, like usual, carrying up the field. But Gillick runs with a lot of energy, and every single time he touches the ball, he's got it at full speed. And he's always looking to explode like he did last week, and the Bulldogs could use it in a big way here. Trailing by 7 as the 4th quarter approaches. Jimmy Miller cuts up the field, and he's still going. He's taking one with him. He's over the 50, moving the chains and more. A fantastic carry from Jimmy Miller, and the Bulldogs are driving. First and 10 now for the Bulldog offense. There seems to have been some confusion with the game clock, but now it'll be Miles Damon trotting off the field talking with the coach and coming back on. It'll be Miles Damon, the tailback, in that three-back set. It'll be Gillick and Viga, the other two, the lead blockers. And they like to use that set, and there's the hard count. Looks like Spanaway Lake jumped. And indeed, so it'll be offsides on the Sentinels. Bulldogs will move up 5 yards, and some signs of life. Bulldog crowd finally seems to have found its mojo, as there's the carry to Miles Damon, who cuts up the middle, and it's nearly good enough for a first down. We'll see if they give it to him. And they will. First down, Bulldogs. And so they only need one down to get a fresh set. So first down and 10 yet again on the 35, call it the 36, on a nice carry from Miles Damon. And maybe this is just exactly what the Bulldogs need to return to fundamentals. Just pound the rock, run it down Spanaway Lake's throats a little bit as Miles Damon gets the ball and cuts up the middle. He's still dragging them with him. That'll be a gain of about 2. As flags fly after some Sentinels players clapping. And the way that they're calling it, it looks like a personal foul on number 50, Dominic Harden. And you cannot have that. The offense was in an absolute rhythm. They were driving like they haven't driven today, and Dominic Harden gets called for a personal foul, backs him up 15 yards, and that's really unfortunate. And they go from the 36 to the 49. And that messes up the game plan for the whole drive as well, because if you're trying to run the ball a lot and then you get pushed back 15 yards, and now you have to deal with 2nd and 25, now your philosophy of running the rock is just not as effective as it usually would be, even on 2nd and 10, as there's the pre-snap motion from Viga. And it'll be a first start as Viga will be called for the illegal pre-snap motion. So a false start penalty will back him up another 5 yards, and now it's 2nd down and 30 to go. The Bulldogs have their work cut out for them. A big hole to climb out of here. And so staying in that three-back set, Viga moves to the outside, and the pitch is to Tuafa Budu on the outside, and he'll get a good gain. But when it's 2nd down and 30, you need a little bit more than a good gain if you're hoping to move the chain. So it'll be just about 2nd down and, 3rd down and 26, 25 to go. And we very well may have just seen the last play of the 3rd quarter. It'll be interesting to see if the Bulldogs want to run one more before it expires. But with 15 seconds, they'll trot out there, so wouldn't be surprised to see one more before the horn sounds on the 3rd quarter. It'll be Reggie Witherspoon motioning into the backfield now. Caminong in the shotgun will take the snap and look out left. Now out to his right. He's got his man. It's his brother Devin who takes it up the field for a gain of about 3. And the horn sounds. So 0-0's on the clock here at Art Crate Field. That'll mark the end of the 3rd quarter. Bulldogs still scoreless. Sentinels lead 7-0 at the end of 3. We'll be right back for the 4th quarter here. I'm Harlan Greedy for Bulldog Sports Journal. Don't go anywhere. And so now the Bulldog punt team will trot out for 4th down and 20 yards to go, and it'll be Julius Gillick who puts this one in the air, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 20-yard line and bounce onto the track. So the Sentinels, as there's a flag on the play at the end of after the punt, all the way back in the backfield, after the punt had already been away for about 5 to 7 seconds, there a flag flies, and there was a Spanaway Lake player clapping. And they're pointing at someone, but it appears to be on Garfield. Yamoni Howell is not happy at all, but we will see what the man in the white hat has to say. And so now the Spanaway Lake Sentinels will take over at about the 50-yard line, and it will be at pretty much exactly the 50. And so that is where they will start their first drive of the fourth quarter, the first drive of the fourth quarter. And it's a keeper, but he's absolutely hit hard in the backfield. My goodness, a very nice play by a combination of Debo Wright and Mike Watkins got to the quarterback. It was a design keeper for Dempsey James, and nothing cooking, as it has been all game. The Garfield defense absolutely on fire, and the offense really has yet to click. The Garfield defense pretty much shouldn't have allowed a touchdown. The only time they did allow a score was when the offense allowed a fumble that was returned down to the 1-yard line. Beyond that, they have been fantastic. But a timeout now comes in. Spanaway Lake decides to call this one. So with 11 minutes left in this one, Garfield's season on the line, down 7-0 to Spanaway Lake. 2nd down and 13. Take a quick 30-second break and be right back with you here on Bulldog Sports Journal. I'm Harlan Grady. And so now, 2nd down and 13 for Dempsey James and the rest of this Sentinel offense. And it'll be really interesting to see what their game plan is. They have had nothing doing against this Bulldog defense all afternoon to this point. As there's the bootleg out to the far side. He's looking back the other way, throws over the middle of the field, and it is intercepted. Tyshawn Rain's got it. He's coming back the other way. He's over the 30, and he's got space. There's a flag comes in, but he's at the 45-yard line. And an absolutely fantastic play. That's game-changing from Tyshawn Rain. Looked like the flag was on the return, but nonetheless, it should stand. And Mike Montgomery, who's out for the rest of the season with an ankle injury, almost just fell over on his crutches. He's still out here supporting the team, and he is rowdy on the sideline. The Bulldogs are hype, and that is a momentum changer. The Bulldogs really haven't had anything to get excited about to this point, at least not in this game. And that is a massive play from Tyshawn Rain, who just picked off the tip from both the Sentinel receiver and the Bulldog defender. But now the Bulldog offense will trot out there. The flag will send him back. pretty far, but the crowd is into it now. They are hype, and the defense is calling for some noise as they take a little break on the sidelines, and rightfully so. So it's a personal foul, but the interception will still stand, but that's why they're so backed up. So they're going to start from about the 14-yard line. It's Caminong in the backfield, joined by Miller and 4 receivers. As Caminong takes it and looks immediately to Witherspoon over the middle of the field, and he's still on his feet, gets to almost the line to gain, and they might move the chains there, and it will. So a first down for the Bulldogs. One play, one first down as Witherspoon loses his shoe and will have to trot out. So nice, easy one play, one first down on a core route to Witherspoon. And if you want to check it out, I just released an article on Witherspoon for Cascadia Preps. But one of the things I highlighted in that article was he runs such a good go route because he's so fast, but defenders usually try and bite on that route, and he can cook him. He has one of the best foot speeds in this league. So he just turns around, runs a little core route, and he has plenty of space to work with as Caminong looks out in the flats. He's going to try and hit his brother Devin. He's got him wide open over the 40. He's still going up the sideline, and it's a foot race. He's brought down eventually, but they're into Sentinel territory. Oh, and there's a flag. Flag down all the way back, and pardon me, that was not his brother Devin. That was Jason Findlay, the receiver. And they look nearly alike. They're wearing the same leg sleeves and arm sleeves, and they're about the same size, and they wear very similar numbers. Very sorry, Jason Finley, but an amazing reception no matter who did it. Unfortunately, a penalty on the Bulldogs means this one's coming all the way back. First down and 20. We're going to have to try it again. But man, no matter the penalties, this is looking like the first real sign of life from either team today. The Bulldog offense looks rejuvenated after the Tyshawn Rain interception. And some of these plays you can't really put into words. I mean, the interception is massive, obviously, but what it does for this team's morale and the way that they're playing has been immediate. As Caminong will be joined by 2 backs, and the carries to Witherspoon off the near side, and he's still got room to run. He's still going upfield, and that's about 10 yards on the carry. Call it 12. So second down and 8 will be the placement now. So the first carry out of the backfield, that isn't a jet sweep for Reggie Witherspoon, results in 12 yards. And he's versatile, useful in both spots, but Caminong now looking to out of the flats in the slant was Jamaica Myers, unable to bring it in. Jamaica Myers, who had a fantastic first half of the season, has fallen relatively quiet in recent weeks. Last week against Lincoln, had a quiet game. This week, yet to have a reception. And you got to wonder, is it game planning? Is he just not getting open as well? Is there something that the other teams have seen on film that is preventing him from doing what he was doing earlier in the season? But nonetheless, very talented guy. Look for the Bulldogs to get him hot if they want to make a deep state run. And so now Witherspoon with the pre-snap motion. It's Caminong dropping back in the shotgun, pressure coming, and Jamaica Myers. His ears must be burning. But whether that's going to be a catch and a fumble or an incompletion is yet to be seen. But Jamaica Myers is down on the field. Looks like he may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully nothing worse than that. But that would be a big loss if he can't play. But it seems as though Garfield has finally realized that their season is on the line, and if they don't score, they just go home, and these seniors' careers, some of them at least, will be over. Some, of course, go on to play in college. But they have not been playing with the urgency of a team that is win or go home. Really, neither of these teams have to this point, but starting to see it in this one. But Jamaica Myers now on his feet, and he's walking off. Doesn't look too happy, but hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him, and we'll see him here in a few. But get some nice head taps. Jason Finley showing him some love. But they'll call it first down and 10, so it's ruled a catch and a fumble for Jamaica Myers. He gets hurt but makes a huge play for his team as the carries to Reggie Witherspoon, who jukes one and gets a gain of about 4. And Reggie's brother Raylan, the freshman, who had a nice first half, is out of his pads and on the sideline in just his jersey and sweatpants, and other than that, street clothes. So not good to see. We'll try and get an update on him after the game. But Reggie doing a nice job in his place, but now is out wide to play receiver. A versatile weapon for this offense. It's Jimmy Miller in the backfield next to Caminong, who drops back, looks to his left. The pressure's coming. A flag is thrown. And Caminong still scrambling, evades another, still on his feet, and he's going to scramble for this one. He's going for the first down. Will he get there? Yes, he will. And more, still going, and pushed out on the opponent 38. There was a flag all the way back, and you got to think that's disappointing for Caminong. He makes all that happen, makes a big play, puts in all that effort, and it's just holding on the Bulldogs. And that's a real shame. That's one of the better plays we've seen, and that seems to be a theme for this drive is really great plays by the players out of the skill positions, nixed by penalties from the offensive line. And whether they are fair or not, something has to change because the Bulldog offense has been playing their best drive of the game, and it hasn't been close, and really not that much to show for it because of all these penalties. But it'll be Jimmy Miller in the backfield, 4 men out wide for Caminong, who's in the shotgun. Will take this snap and drop back, look immediately to his left, and the pressure's coming fast, and he's got his man. It's Reggie Witherspoon. And he just dropped it. Caminong almost made a fantastic catch off of his back foot while being put in the ground by 2 different Spanaway Lake defenders. And Reggie Witherspoon either didn't see the pass or didn't expect the pass. To be honest, I didn't expect the pass either, but couldn't quite bring it in. And now it'll be 3rd and 23, and with 8 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock, this is getting to do or die time here for the Bulldogs. And so it'll be trips to the right of E.J. Caminong with Jackson as well as Reggie Witherspoon and Monty and Prosit. And he's got one to his far side as long as Jimmy Miller beside him who will pass block. And Caminong in the backfield rips this one deep. He's got his brother, and it's just over his head. Incomplete for Devin Caminong, who couldn't quite reach out and bring that one in. So it falls to the turf. Incomplete. And there's a flag down on the near side from the referee. So another flag yet again. Looks like this one may actually be in favor of the Bulldogs, and if so, a vital shot in the arm, as that would put them, that incompletion would make it a damning 4th and 23, but instead I believe it's first down, or at least it's 3rd down and manageable. And so indeed it'll be 3rd down and a little bit less chaos for the Bulldogs. So 3rd down and 13 will be the call after that holding from the defense. Julius Gillick, the back now, and he'll flip over to the other side of Caminong in the shotgun. There's the pre-snap motion from Imani and Prosit, but flags fly before the snap. False start on the Bulldogs. It'll back them up half the distance that they just got on that last play. So 3rd down and 18 now. And the 3rd straight play, third straight flag. And really just upsetting to see player, coach, fan, spectator, no matter what your role is, seeing this many flags in a game is just really disheartening. Just takes away from the flow of the game, and it demoralizes the players. As Caminong takes a shotgun snap, looks out to his left side, he's got his man Armani and Prosit, but it overthrows him. And it's into the Garfield bench. Field seems to be clean of any laundry, so this one is okay. Unfortunately, it doesn't go Garfield's way. And 8 minutes left on the clock. The Bulldogs are going to have to score a touchdown if they need. They're going to want to force overtime. They're going to want to win this one outright, but to force overtime, they need a touchdown. And to score a touchdown, they're going to have to stop getting penalized, and that has not happened. So 7-0 Sentinels. The Bulldogs will punt this one away with 8 minutes remaining. And it's getting very close to everywhere is 4-down territory, and there's the big punt from Julius Gillick. Fantastic work, his best one of the day by far, aided by the wind, I'm sure. But nonetheless, that one will go to the Sentinel 33, and a very nice piece of work there from Gillick, who has filled in nicely for missing Joe Gordon, the starting punter. Fortunately came down with some bad flu-like illness this week, and of course Bulldogs sad to miss him. Happy that Gillick is doing a nice job in his absence. And they'll have him back next week, but they're going to need to get to next week first, and it's really coming down to it. But the Garfield fans starting to get into it. A chant of defense coming in as there's the carry now to Clemens, who is brought down yet again for no gain. And the Bulldogs need the big stop in a big way. And this Bulldog defense has played a fantastic game all day. Only 7 points, and you could barely call that their fault. It was a fumble that was returned to the 1-yard line, and they have played out of their minds today against a very talented Spanaway Lake Sentinels offense. And so now it'll be 2nd down and 12 after a loss of 2. And it'll be a play action, and the quarterback scrambling out to the far side, nothing doing. He's just going to chuck this one way out of bounds. And there was nothing going on for James there. And now 3rd and 12. And if the Bulldogs can stop him here and better yet get a turnover, it would be a massive turn of events. They need a touchdown, and they need a touchdown bad. A field goal, you'd think, just does not cut it. And Finn Terry today 0 for 1 as well, even kicking with the wind. Earlier in this one, missed from 42, and it wasn't close. Obviously, a field goal gets you on the board, but when you need 7, 3 just doesn't feel like enough. And pre-snap whistles as the Garfield crowd was causing some noise. And Spanaway Lake will use their 2nd timeout of the half. Just one remaining here, so 7:04 left in this one. Winner go home, winner to state. I'm Marlon Grady for Bulldog Sports Journal. We'll be right back. So now, 3rd down and 12, a very pivotal moment here for the Bulldog defense, trying to get off the field and give their offense another shot at tying this game up at 7. So here's the snap to the Sentinel quarterback, James. He's looking out to his left. He's got his man. Will it be enough for the first down? It'll be critical to where they spotted him, but for right now, he's about a yard short, but a flag in the backfield. Looks like this may be going back against the Sentinels. And it will. So a holding penalty against the Sentinels will back them up, as if accepted, as I'm sure it will be, to 4th and 22, or pardon me, 3rd and 22. No loss of down. So 6:54 on the clock. And there is a liege of Garfield seniors whose season will end in 6 minutes and 54 seconds of game time if the offense can't figure out a way to put some points on the board here late at Art Crate. So now it's Dempsey James alongside the rest of this Sentinel offense, trying to drive for Spanaway Lake here, defending home turf at Art Crate Field. As there's the snap, and he's still looking at the bootleg, hit from behind as he throws, and that one falls to the turf. It's incomplete. Garfield's going to get another shot. Massive stop on 4th down as he was hit from behind by, I believe, Diamoni Wright. And so with 6 minutes and just about 30 seconds on the clock here, the Bulldog offense, led by E.J. Caminong, is going to get one more chance to send them to state, or at least give them a shot at overtime. As there's the punt, it's a loopy snap, and it's nearly blocked, and the punter is killed, and it'll be a flag. It's down at about the 28, but the punter got absolutely cracked by, I believe, Mike Watkins. And right after that happened, there was a flag. It looks like the refs are discussing whether or not it'll be roughing the kicker, since he was really just trying to block the punt, but I don't believe you can hit the punter like that and get away with it. And all 4 refs now have gathered up, discussing this one. This is winner to state, 2 very good teams facing off. Neither one has played up to their potential. And 6 minutes, 20 seconds left. 7-0 Sentinels. Referees having a long discussion about this one. As they seem to be curious whether or not it's roughing the passer, and if it is roughing the passer, how much distance, and is it a first down? And so instead of roughing the kicker, pardon me, it will be a personal foul against the Bulldogs, good for 15 yards, but not an automatic first down. So even after that penalty, 4th down and 18 yards to go, means that this one will be punted away yet again, and a short muffed punt will bounce out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Garfield with some good field position. 6 minutes and 14 seconds left. And the old lady starting to hum. God forbid she sings. Gonna have to figure out a way to put some points on the board here. EJ Caminong, the rest of this Bulldog offense. They need points, and they need them in a big way. And so Caminong in the shotgun, he'll be on about the 50. The ball is on the 45-yard line, and the Bulldogs have got to find a way to punch in this one. And it's Jason Finley in pre-snap motion. Caminong drops back. A flag flies before the play even starts. It's out to Julius Gillick out of the backfield. And yet another flag will fly. These referees are insatiable. They are throwing flag after flag after flag. 2 flags from the same ref, who, dare I say, has been trigger happy. And penalties continue to tell the story of this game, and that's just a shame when it comes at the high school level. You hate to see the game decided by the old men wearing stripes instead of the young men with the talent all on the field. But that's what it's coming down to in this one. But yet another conversation from the referees will delay this one even further. So the 2 penalties offset, so after all that, it means nothing, and we'll just do it all over again. And this is getting really tiring as the flags continue to fly. But after all that, so no, never mind. It won't be offsetting penalties. It'll be 2 big penalties Spanaway Lake's way. A hit to the head and unsportsmanlike conduct. So 15 yards Garfield's way will move the ball to the 30-yard line. And that's where Caminong will take the snap. He's in the shotgun about 5 yards behind the center. Julius Gillick to his left. Pre-snap motion from Witherspoon as Caminong drops back and looks to his right. He's scrambling to evade the pressure. He's gotten out of the pocket on the left side. Will he make the man miss? No, he will not. Down for about no gain. But a nice job not taking a sack. Caminong with really high-level pocket awareness. Does a great job not taking sacks and knows when the guy's coming from the blind side, even if he can't see him all the time. So now Caminong again in the shotgun. Hasn't taken a snap under center all drive, but flags fly before the play. 3 different refs throw them. And false start, I would have to assume. And indeed, false start will back Garfield up 5 yards, so 2nd down and 15 from the 35-yard line. So still 7-0. Garfield needs to score some points to stay alive. Caminong's looking deep now. He's got his man. Looks like pass interference, but the ball will be ruled. And no, it will not. The flag comes in. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, defensive pass interference. The ref wasn't sure if he was going to throw it or not, made a late decision. I think he was trying to weigh if the ball was catchable or if it wasn't. And after he decided that it was, he threw that flag super late, which is good for the Bulldogs. They'll move up another 15 yards to about the 20 and also get a fresh set of downs, so all is well. And indeed, defensive pass interference will move the Bulldogs up 20 yards. And for the first time today, they'll touch the red zone of the Spanaway Lake Sentinels. So their first red zone attempt all day, and we'll see how it goes. They need a touchdown in a big way. The Garfield crowd starting to get into it, and now it'll be Caminong under center with two backs behind him. The handoff will be to Gillick, who takes it up the middle, and he's still on his feet. Takes two men with him and gets a good gain of about 4. The lead block came from Troy Viga, who did a good job clearing the path for him. So 2nd down and 7 will be the official call. Only a run of 3 on 1st down from Gillick. And Gillick will flip now. It'll be Caminong back in the shotgun. Moves from under center, and he'll get ready to take the snap. Witherspoon moving across the formation, but whistles will blow. Refs will point. Fists will circle, and false start. So the Bulldogs, after moving forward on 2nd down, are reduced to 2nd down and 12. So 1 step forward, 2 steps back, as has been the routine for this offense all game to this point. And now it's Caminong in the shotgun. Reggie Witherspoon will come across the formation, and Caminong will look deep to his right. Now he'll scramble up, still avoiding pressure. Looking deep, he's got his man Witherspoon, and there was holding, but it will go uncalled. Looked like he had him, but Witherspoon unable to bring that one in. So now 3rd down and 13 from the 22-yard line will be coming up here. The Garfield crowd very into it now. This is pivotal. 3rd down and 12 from the Spanaway Lake 22. Bulldogs trail 7-0. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in their season. If they can't pull this one out, it'll be Caminong in the shotgun, looking deep to his right side. He's got his man. It's Jay Jackson. Incomplete, but the flag flies. Could it be defensive pass interference? And this is an interesting call for sure, because you have the Garfield receiver who could have been interfered with. There was a referee right on top of him who did not make the call. The referee who threw the flag was back by the line of scrimmage all the way over, and he's the one who threw the flag, not the guy who was right on top of the play. And that's not usually how referee hierarchy works. The guy who's closest to the ball gets to make the call. But alas, I believe the call stands. So 1st down, I believe. There's a lot of 3rd down and 11 now from the 11. I don't think anybody knows what's going on. There's a mass confusion on the field here. Okay, 3rd down and 1 yard to go now is the call on the field. It's Troy Viga, Reggie Witherspoon in the backfield. The handoff, no handoff. It'll be in the bootleg to E.J. Caminong, who makes the throw. A flag flies. It looked to be complete. And the catch is made, but it's short of the end zone. The catch was made by Yamoni Howell, who brought it in, but was marked down on the 1 yard line. E.J. Caminong was in the grasp of 2 different Spanaway Lake defenders, got the ball away, hit Yamoni Howell, who was down at the 1 yard line as a flag flew from that same referee who was called 5 on this drive alone. 2 penalties all the way back, and it looks like offsetting penalties. or it'll be pass interference with a decline penalty, so the ball will be marked out on the 1-yard line, and with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock, the Bulldogs are going to try and punch this one in. They've got 4 tries to do it. They're on the 1-yard line. This is absolutely massive, and you have to expect they're going to go to that 3-back set that they've used all season long to just get those little yards, just to grind it out. And the crowd is on their feet. This is absolutely massive. They need a touchdown here, and then they need the extra point and or the 2-point conversion to keep their season alive. So not only do they need to punch it in, but they need either Finn Terry or one of their skill position players to come up real big here and put them either even or ahead. But first things first, they need this touchdown. They're going back to that 3-back set. They've got Uriah Givens, Troy Viga, and Julius Gillick as the tailback. There's pre-snap motion, but flags fly. Could it be? And it is. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty, and the Bulldogs will move back to the 6. Now that makes their job a lot harder. The clock continues to run, but the Bulldogs will have to substitute. So first and goal from the 6 is not as easy as first and goal from the 1. And they'll still have 4 tries to do it, but now your game plan diversifies. You can't just run it down their throat every single time. And Finn Terry is now practicing his kicks on the sideline, so you have to think that they'll be kicking it up and through if they score. And it'll be Reggie Witherspoon makes the catch, and he's down on the 1-yard line. A fantastic short catch and throw from EJ to Reggie. And now it'll be second down and 1 yard to go from the 1-yard line. Reggie Witherspoon just made a fantastic catch and rolled down to the 1, and now they're back in that 3-back set. Viga pre-snap motion, and it's the same penalty that has happened 3 different times in this set. Viga moves on the pre-snap motion out of that 3-back set, and one of the offensive linemen has jumped now twice on this set of downs and 3 times in the quarter. They have called it now 3 times in this quarter on that exact same play. It's been a false start every time. Every time. And so now Garfield will have to use their first timeout of the half. So they'll have 2 remaining still with 1 minute and 29 seconds left. Second down, 6 to go from the 6-yard line. It's goal to go at this point. And we will take just a quick break and be right back with you. Do not go anywhere. This is what it's all about, folks. So now the Bulldog offense back out there. It'll be Julius Gillick, I believe, who was the tailback, but now he will be motioned out wide. Caminong with 5 men on the line. He's got Sajay Jackson alone to his right in an isolation. No safety help, just a one-on-one. You have to imagine that's where he might be looking. There's 4 receivers to his far side as well. And he immediately looks to Jackson, who's on the slant route, and it's tipped and incomplete. 3rd down and 6 coming up. They've got 2 more tries. This is absolutely 4-down territory. You cannot leave this with a field goal. You must score the touchdown, especially now that there's only 1 minute, 26 seconds remaining. You absolutely must punch this one in. You have to find a way. This is what you've played your whole season for. This moment right here. It's Julius Gillick, the lone back in the backfield, and 3 men to Caminong's right with Jamaica Myers alone on the top of your screen. And there's the snap. He's looking out to his right. Now it's Myers running a fade in the end zone, and it's too far. It's incomplete on 3rd down, and now it's 4th down and 6 with the season on the line for the Bulldogs. And Myers almost had that one. Caminong overthrew it. It went out, landed on about the track. It's 4th down and 6 yards to go, and there will be yet another timeout from the Bulldogs, and this is what high school football is about. 4th down and 6 from the 6. It's goal to go. The Bulldogs haven't gotten this close all game. They were on the 1-yard line twice. 2 false starts, 2 incomplete passes, and a complete pass to Reggie Witherspoon for 5 yards. This is what you play your whole season for. All of these guys have been practicing for this moment every day for the last, give or take, 4 or 5 months. They've been out there, they're running their sprints the length of the field, and then the length of the field again, and then the length of the field again, and then you do that 5 times. They're out there puking on the field in August, and they all do it for this moment right here. They're down by 7. The ball is on the 6. They've got 1 try to punch this one in. Everybody on both sides is on their feet and making noise. And this is why you watch high school football. Caminong in the shotgun. He's got Julius Gillick alone with him in the backfield and 4 receivers out wide. He's going to take the snap, drop back in the shotgun, scramble out to his left, and he could run this one in. But he doesn't, and it's intercept. It's incomplete in the end zone. And it's a turnover on downs. No flags. And it was nearly intercepted, but instead it falls harmlessly to the ground. And that was 4th down. Spanaway Lake will take possession with 1:12 to go here. And with only 1 timeout remaining, the Bulldogs do not have enough to stop the clock. So Spanaway Lake could just go into victory formation. And that is a crushing way to lose a football game and to end your football season. And you can imagine how crushed some of these guys might feel. The Garfield defense played what some would call a perfect game. The only touchdown they allowed was from the 1-yard line when the Garfield offense gave up a fumble that was returned to that point. And frankly, that is one of the most disappointing losses maybe in Garfield football history. And they absolutely dominated on defense. Spanaway Lake looked hopeless on offense. And they will almost certainly lose this one 7-0. And after the first kneel, Garfield will take a timeout. But 2nd and 3rd down will both eclipse 40 seconds. And there's only 72 seconds left on the clock here. So this one is all but over as Garfield is now out of timeouts. And that is a crushing way to lose. And the Garfield seniors have started to take their pads off, and so Jay Jackson is having a conversation with EJ on the sideline. And that is just crushing. Feels like Garfield worked so long all year to be here, and one of the better Garfield football teams in a long time this year. And to lose this game in this way as the kneel goes down yet again is horrifying. And a really sad way to cap off what was a fantastic season for the Bulldogs. But the Spanaway Lake Sentinels knew how to beat this team. They drew penalties, and lots of them. And once this clock ticks down under 40 seconds, Spanaway Lake can take one more knee and say goodnight. They will go to the state playoffs, and that is a really disappointing way to cap off a really impressive football season for the Garfield Bulldogs. And that knee goes down, and with 24 seconds left on the clock in this one, that will do it. Game over, season over. The Spanaway Lake Sentinels advance to the 2022 WIAA state playoffs, and the Garfield Bulldogs will go home. Well, it's been a great season here from Bulldog Sports Journal. We thank you very much for listening, and everybody involved had a great year and is happy to join mid-year as the announcer for this crew. It's a great group of guys. Cole Yagi, Jack Sundberg, Bryce Axtell has helped out, Luke Robbins, the photographer, and it's been really good having you guys here all year to watch us and the streams we put on, and we'll be back for basketball season and just crushing way to lose. But overall, great season for the Bulldogs. I'm Harlan Grady signing off for Bulldog Sports Journal football for the last time. We'll see you in basketball season coming up here in just a few short weeks, I believe.